Which is better, the ZTE Blade A7 Prime or the Samsung Galaxy A20? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, coming at you with my comparison between the ZTE Blade A7 Prime and the Samsung Galaxy A20. Now, I just want to let you know from the beginning of this video that the ZTE Blade A7 Prime is an exclusive to Visible, which is a new and upcoming carrier that's owned by Verizon. So you're not going to be able to use this with other carriers, unfortunately. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 is available factory unlocked. You can also get it at a bunch of different carriers, but you can't get it at Visible. So I don't think most people would necessarily be cross-shopping either of these two phones because you can't use this phone on Visible and you can't use this phone on any of the carriers that this phone works on. However, I know that many of you that watch my videos are a big fan of the Galaxy A20. So if you currently have one, or if you're just curious with how this phone compares to the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, then I think this video is certainly of value to those people. So I hope you enjoyed the video and find it to be interesting so that you can see really how these two phones compare to each other. Now, starting off with the pricing, the ZTE Blade A7 Prime can only be bought through Visible's online store. And again, if you want to learn more about Visible, check out the various videos on my channel about it, as I've created a lot of them. But the phone is available for $99 on Visible's store, or if you want to swap in one of your old Android phones, you can actually get this for free. That's how I got this. I switched in one of my old phones and I didn't pay anything for it. And the Galaxy A20 is currently available factory unlocked for around $179 for the international version of the phone. And you can also get this at a variety of different carriers. I know that at Metro by T-Mobile, for example, you can actually get this for free if you do port in from a different carrier. So there are different ways to get the Galaxy A20 for free. Now, the ZTE Blade A7 Prime features a 6.09-inch display at 720p with a 284 ppi. It is an LCD display and features a 19.5:9 aspect ratio. And the Samsung Galaxy A20 features a larger display at 6.4 inches. It's 720p, just like the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, but it is AMOLED, so a whole different display technology here, and it is a 19.5:9 aspect ratio. So you can see side by side here how much better the AMOLED display is on the Galaxy A20 compared to the Blade A7 Prime. And especially at different angles, the viewing angles are much better with AMOLED compared to LCD. So in pretty much every situation, the display here with the Galaxy A20 is going to be the better one of the two. Now there's no doubt though that the ZTE Blade A7 Prime does still have a good looking display. I am a fan of it and I think it looks really sharp overall. But certainly compared to an AMOLED display, this one looks inferior. But if you just picked up this phone without comparing it to anything, then I think most people would be impressed with the quality of the display. Now both phones do have teardrop notches here at the top, a little bit thicker bezels with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, but both phones do have a little bit of a larger bezel here at the bottom. But these two devices do have a pretty similar design overall. Now up top here, we have the front-facing cameras in the notches. Now with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, we have a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, and the Samsung Galaxy A20 has an 8-megapixel front-facing camera. Both phones feature 32 gigabytes of internal storage with SD card expansion. Neither of these two phones feature wireless charging. They both do feature face unlock, and they also both have fingerprint sensors on the back. So we'll try that out right now, starting with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime. So nice and quick there with the fingerprint sensor. Now we'll do the Galaxy A20. And that was really fast too. So nice, fast, responsive, and accurate fingerprint sensors with both phones, which is great. Despite them being budget devices, the fingerprint sensors do work really well. Now also in the back are the cameras. So with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, we just have one camera here at 16 megapixels, whereas with the Galaxy A20, we have two cameras. We have a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. Now the secondary camera actually has two different purposes. The first purpose of the camera is to be a depth sensing camera for the main camera so that you can get portrait mode. And the second reason for this camera is to give you ultra wide angle. So it does indeed feature an ultra wide angle lens in there, and you can take ultra wide angle photos. So let's give that a try right now. I just want to show you what that can do for you. So first I'll show you how everything looks with the standard cameras in both phones. So this is with the standard cameras. Looks like the ZTE Blade A7 Prime has a clearer picture overall, but now we're going to switch over to the wide angle camera with the Galaxy A20, and you can see how much more content fits into the frame here. So certainly going with the wide angle camera with the Galaxy A20 is the way to go in certain situations, especially if you're a tourist or you're going to be a tourist pretty soon, traveling around, taking photos of different buildings and scenery. Having that wide angle camera is great for that. And when you don't want to use it, you can always switch over to the regular camera. Also, it's really cool that we do get a live focus portrait mode with the Galaxy A20, which is a feature that we don't get with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime. In addition to that, you can use portrait mode with the front-facing camera as well. Now, the front-facing camera quality with the Blade A7 Prime is actually really good too, but it is definitely a bit better with the Galaxy A20, that's for sure. And if you don't want to use portrait mode, you can even use the standard mode here, but you can see that overall the colors, at least through the viewfinder here, are better with the Galaxy A20. Now, both devices feature 3 GB of RAM, but they do have different processors. So with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, we get the MediaTek Helio A22, and with the Samsung Galaxy A20, we get the Exynos 7884 processor, which is a processor that's created by Samsung. Now, there's also the Metro by T-Mobile variant of this phone, and that features the 7904, but those two processors are very similar. Now, I did run an Antutu benchmark test on both devices, so you can see the results from that. So with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, I got a total score of 72743, and then with the Galaxy A20, I got a score of 124183. So certainly a better benchmark score with the Galaxy A20 compared to the Blade A7 Prime. Now, what's really cool is that both phones do feature support for 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Sometimes with different budget phones, you only get 2.4 GHz support. So I'm really glad to see that we do get that with both devices here. I do want to do a speed test comparison though, comparing the Wi-Fi speeds on the two phones so that you can get an idea of which device is going to give you the better Wi-Fi speeds overall. So I'm going to tap on go here. They're both connected to the same network, and we'll see which one gets you the better Wi-Fi speeds. So it looks like actually the ZTE Blade A7 Prime is getting the better speeds of the two phones. Very interesting there. Looks like we're getting speeds of over 100 megabits per second download, which is really unexpected and surprising. But it looks like overall we got a download with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime of 114 versus 75.3 with the Samsung Galaxy A20. And then it looks like for upload, we're getting pretty close scores with both phones. We're getting 6.06 with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime, and then we got 8.87 with the Samsung Galaxy A20. So not bad with either of these two devices. I'm certainly very impressed with the performance overall. Now for this next segment of the video, I want to do a side-by-side speed test comparison with the two phones. So first we're going to pull up the camera app. So 1, 2, 3, go. Looks like the Galaxy A20 was a little bit quicker at pulling up the camera. Let's now go to Google Chrome. 1, 2, 3, go. And the A20 was quicker at pulling up Google Chrome as well. Let's now go to yahoo.com. 1, 2, 3, go. A20 was quicker at pulling up Yahoo. Let's go to Engadget. 1, 2, 3, go. A20 was quicker at pulling up Engadget as well. And you can see in this side-by-side here how much brighter and clearer the picture is with the Samsung Galaxy A20 compared to the ZTE Blade A7 Prime. And the main reason for that definitely has to be due to the AMOLED display technology with the Galaxy A20. But scrolling with both phones is smooth, so I'm impressed with that. We'll do some pinch to zoom, very smooth there, and smooth here as well. So let's go to this article next. 1, 2, 3, go. Looks like the A20 was quicker again at pulling up the content. The next thing we're going to do here is compare the speaker quality from the two devices to see which of these two phones is louder. So I do have a decibel meter right here, so I'm going to try this out. and I'm going to start with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime. So it will be reading the maximum score, so let's get started.
Is the Alcatel Insight a good phone to buy? Well, in this video, we're going to find out.
And I got a score of 103. We'll try this with the Galaxy A20 now.
Is the Alcatel Insight a good phone to buy? Well, in this video, we're going to find out.
And I got a score of 100.1. So the ZTE Blade A7 Prime is a bit louder than the Samsung Galaxy A20. So I don't think there's any doubt that the Samsung Galaxy A20 is the better phone of the two. However, I know that a lot of people are considering getting the ZTE Blade A7 Prime over Visible, and they might be considering the Galaxy A20 as kind of a budget benchmark. So if you are curious to see how this phone compares to this phone, then there you go. That's the main difference here. I just realized that I forgot to mention in the comparison that we are getting a 3,200 milliamp hour internal battery with the ZTE Blade A7 Prime versus a beefier 4,000 milliamp hour internal battery with the Galaxy A20. Now we are getting Android 9 Pie with both phones. Samsung did say that the Galaxy A20 is supposed to be updated to Android 10 in May of 2020, so stay tuned for that. And I haven't heard anything yet about the ZTE Blade A7 Prime getting updated to Android 10, but I feel like it probably will because we just saw the Visible R2 get updated, and that's a phone from ZTE, but we just saw that get updated from Android 8.1 Oreo to Android 9 Pie very recently. So hopefully both phones do get updated. But yeah, overall, as far as which one's better, no doubt that the A20 is the better phone of the two. However, it would be nice to see the A20 make its way over to Visible as well, but the ZTE Blade A7 Prime is certainly still a very good phone. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Certainly let me know in the comment section below which device you prefer and which one you think is the better of the two. And if you own either of these two phones, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, Visible does sell the Samsung Galaxy A50 through their online store, and that will work with the service. And the A50 actually features a very similar design to the A20, but does feature enhanced internal specifications. And there's other perks as well. I actually have not used the A50 yet, so I don't want to say too much about it. But if you are kind of looking for a device similar to the Galaxy A20 that does work with Visible, then certainly take a look at the Galaxy A50. But again, hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize if I threw in some random things there throughout the video, but I keep thinking of things as I'm going through the video itself. But I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. This is Kevin here. Give the video a thumbs up, sub, and I'll see you in the next video.